The best of all worlds. Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Best of All Worlds, a program in which we introduce the community of people who were born here to various communities of people who were born elsewhere, so that together through shared experiences, social events, business exchange, and other interactions, together we can have the best of all worlds. Hello, hi Jefferson, how are you?
Good, how you doing, Kristen?
Good, thank you. I am so excited, and by the way, my co-host Flavia today couldn't be here, but we didn't want to miss the opportunity to introduce this amazing young man, Jefferson Aguiar. He was born in Brazil, and he has an amazing story. He graduated among the top people in his class at Gloucester High School, and he is on his way to Harvard University on a full scholarship, right?
That's right, yeah.
So how much does your mom have to pay?
Nothing, zero.
Zero, all right. So, but before we talk about your exciting future, I'd like to hear how you got from there to here. So, Jefferson, where were you born?
All right, I was born in Espigão do Oeste, Rondônia.
Yes.
In Brazil. It's in the north part of the country, in the Amazon region. And my mom and we immigrated to the U.S. when I was 14.
14?
Yeah.
And how old are you now?
I'm 18 now.
Wait a minute. And how good was your English when you first came here?
Oh, I didn't have any English, no.
Okay, wait a minute. So you weren't like 5 or 10 and like you were, so that is amazing. How did you go from coming over here, no English, navigating your way in a new culture, new system, new language, and get to the place where you are on your way to Harvard on a full ride? Tell us that story.
All right. I guess learning the language, school helped a lot because I went to O'Malley first. I did like a term at O'Malley, and then I started high school right after. So I studied a lot, like to get the language out of the way so I could focus on other stuff that I actually cared about. And yeah, I watched a lot of videos and studied a lot of grammar.
Yeah.
And
So, but you were just 14, right? When a lot of kids are kind of being rebellious. And what was it? Like, tell me about before you came to this, like what kind of a kid were you in Brazil? Like, what is it that gave you that maturity to like figure out, like, I'm gonna focus on this and make that good before I can do other things?
In Brazil, I've been in school since, my parents, they put me in school when I was 11 months, like in kindergarten, I guess. But I've always been like studious. So I've always cared a lot about school, and it just came natural at first, like just school, do good. And
But now you mentioned your parents. Now your mother, by the way, was on our first show of this year. In fact, our old show used to be called The Best of Both Worlds. Mm-hmm. Our first show that we relaunched as Best of All Worlds, your mother was a guest. Mm-hmm. She is the lovely, very talented Vanilza Aguiar.
Thank you.
She's quite the entrepreneur, right? She has
yeah.
a bakery business.
Bakery business.
She also has a cleaning business.
House cleaning. In Brazil, she tried bakery too. So
yes.
She's always been trying new stuff.
Yeah. So before we get on this, I still have so many questions about you in Gloucester and the school system and everything. And by the way, it's very encouraging because what you're saying is a lot of people like to criticize Gloucester schools. They've been pretty good to you. You've had a great experience, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Gloucester has great students, great teachers, great education. Yeah.
So your teachers and your fellow students were really good about helping you to learn English?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I had a lot of help, and yeah.
Did you face any discrimination or any kind of bullying or anything when you first got here?
Not in particular. Not that like meant to be like a discrimination specific. No.
Okay. So before we get on to the rest of it, tell me about again the role of you and your mother, because you came over here just with your mother, right? So what is it that your mother has done? I'm trying to put a little plug in for We Moms, right? Mm-hmm. That she did to help you also become the man that you are.
She's always been there for me. especially with school stuff. I think one thing that really helped me not to like get anxiety about school is that my parents, they never rushed me. Like, they never said, oh, what did you get in this test? Or how are you doing? You know, like, they were always happy when I told them that I was doing great in school, but they never rushed me in or anything. And I think that's important.
They trusted you.
Yeah, they just trusted me and it worked.
So really like encouragement and belief and faith.
Encouragement and belief.
So how long so you're at O'Malley, and in the beginning were you pretty much not able to do, so you could do like math, like while you're learning English, how did you manage the rest without being able to speak the language?
Yeah, so we had COVID the year before, or I think we were still using masks when I started school. So COVID kind of was kind of a letdown for me because school in Brazil was closed for like over a year, I think. And online school, I didn't do really well, so I was kind of behind in math and everything else when I got here. And then English was like the biggest thing that I had to get rid of so I could focus on like math, science. But eventually it all worked out, I guess. Yeah.
That's amazing. So you are not just a great student, you're an athlete, you're very involved, we just graduated. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
So talk about your sports and talk about your athletic achievement. Your mom is always sending me pictures of you in midair running, and you seem to be like at the head. So brag a little bit about your athletic ability.
Yeah, I did track and field all 4 years in high school. I didn't do indoor my freshman year, but other years I did indoor and outdoor. I tried soccer for 2 years, sophomore and junior year. And my senior year, last year, I did cross country because I wanted to get the endurance for track. And for track, that was kind of funny because I thought I was a sprinter when I first started it back freshman year. But then I found out later that I was more of a mid-distance kind of kid. And I also started doing more stuff like hurdles and jumping. Although I never did really good in high jump. But I really like long jump.
Your jumps look pretty high to me. I saw some amazing photos of you in midair.
Yeah, I never got the technique down, I think the Frosby technique. I always did the scissor kick. But yeah.
So why did you give up soccer? You're Brazilian, otherwise known as football in Portuguese, right?
That's right. I'm not good at soccer, so yeah.
You're not?
No, I'm definitely not good at soccer. But I joined it. It was really fun. I made a lot of friends, and I liked it. But cross country was just better for me, like for the things that I wanted to do, which was track. It made more sense.
Okay. Yeah. So now you're good in sports. You're getting really hard grades, which must have taken a lot of work. So, but you found time to do, and I think you talked about, I'm just going to list them off, see if I forgot anything. You were the student advisor of the Gloucester Education Foundation. You're part of the Interact Club, member of the National Honor Society, DECA, and then you started your own organization called Wicked Smart.
That's right.
Right, which we're gonna talk about Wicked Smart in a minute. But before we do, how did you choose those organizations, and how were you able to be involved in so many things, and like stay sane, and have a social life, have friends? Like, how did you manage that? What is the key to that success?
I think managing your time well in high school is part of it, because you got schoolwork, so you're trying to get that done during school hours, or when you get home, get done with that as quick as you can. And then you have track sports, which takes 2 hours, 3 hours of your day. And then you have these organizations which you want to dedicate some time during the week to participate. So I guess managing your time well.
So did you just figure that out? Did you get help with that? Did you study? Who taught you how to manage time?
It was more like a process. So like freshman year, I wasn't involved in much like organization, like clubs and stuff. So mostly because I didn't really know about them. But once I get to know more about the community, the resources and the opportunities that the school had, I started to get more involved, and I was just adjusting as I went through them.
You have the luxury and the privilege of being part of two different cultures, two different worlds. So talk to me a little bit also about, how much of your time, and this is a weird question, so if it's kind of a weird question, I hear you, but like how much of your time would you say you spend with your Brazilian friends, with your American friends? How are you, as a Brazilian and the American, able to educate or not your friends about what your country's like? What are the things that you like to keep from your culture that you think are maybe better than are here? Like, how are you able to pick the best of both worlds in that case?
I think just picking the best qualities of both cultures, I guess. My friends, they're very curious about like my life in Brazil and being Brazilians. They ask a lot of questions. I ask them a lot of questions.
Yeah, that's great.
I don't really understand about American culture and like the language. I'm still learning. But yeah, they were very friendly, always asking questions. And
what do you love? What is something, putting you on the spot? We have had no preparation for this show. He's totally coming in here cold. What is it, especially about Brazil, that you would like our listeners and viewers to know about Brazil that they might not know?
I think besides the great food that we have, which
Very
I miss a lot, I think that there are a lot of amazing people in Brazil, like smart people who are beyond soccer or some other stereotype. And I feel like that these kids or these people, they don't have the opportunity in the country.
Yeah.
But we were talking about over 200 million people in the 5th biggest country in the world.
Wow.
And I feel like us Brazilians and like the international community, we just don't recognize them or give a lot of recognition besides the basic stuff.
So now, would you agree or disagree? You have many different kinds of people, so we know the colors, types, but you have some unifying things where like arroz feijão, rice and beans, right?
Yeah.
Right? So talk about that too. Like, what is it? So for example, from my perspective, Brazilians are very creative, very open, willing to like try new things. And at the same time, there are certain things, you know, I'm just thinking like sunshine, like lots of plants, like, but what is, am I just making a stereotype, or what is it that if you were trying to get a little picture of what you want to always keep with you about Brazil, what would that be?
I feel like the warmth of the country. Brazilian people are known to be very welcoming, and you know, like when you meet someone, you give a hug, you like kiss.
You kiss them, right?
Yeah. So I feel like keeping this warmth is good, especially in more cold cultures.
And talk about, we're going to get back to your some of the things that you've accomplished on your own here, but you said food, okay? Unfortunately, fortunately, it's an opportunity. A lot of my friends have no idea about Brazilian food, and they have no idea how much better Brazilian food is than most American food. I'm giving my opinion. You didn't say it, I did. Okay, but can you explain to like what are some of the, talk about what is Brazilian food? What are you eating in Brazil that you feel like if Americans tried that, they'd be like, oh wow, I'm gonna start eating this?
I don't know. I feel like the ingredients and how the food is made, it's more organic, more
fresh,
natural,
right?
Not as much industrialized, like processed food.
Brazilians actually cook every day, right?
Yeah, we cook every day, rice, beans, and kind of meat.
You never get bored with rice and beans?
No, no. Pasta too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Now, are you one of those people that would like to have rice and beans every day, or you can take it or leave it? Do you kind of like to have arroz feijão every day, or you're kind of like?
I feel like growing up, it was always like lunch and dinner. We had rice and beans, so I was kind of like used to it. For me, that was the reality for everybody, you know, as a kid. But like now that I'm here in the United States, I don't eat rice every day, but I still do every week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And by the way, it's not just rice and beans. You also have salad and meat. It's just part
Brazilian
of the
barbecue.
Talk about Brazilian barbecue, by the way, because
so good.
I'm going to invite you. We're having a Brazil versus the U.S. barbecue palooza. Yeah. Talk about, what is the Brazilian barbecue?
I don't know, like, I guess the picanha with...
I just had picanha Tuesday, yes.
Yeah, picanha with linguiça, which is sausage in Portuguese, any kind of linguiça, any kind of sausage, and maybe some chicken and pork.
Picanha, by the way, is a special cut of meat. I don't even know what the word is.
Sirloin, I think it's top sirloin or
top
something
sirloin,
like that. Yeah.
But it's not like anything Americans eat usually for their meat. It's a kind of a special quality of meat. It's cut differently. It's cooked differently. How do you cook picanha? Do you know? Do you know how to do barbecue yourself?
I've done it like once, actually.
Okay, and what did you do?
During the World Cup, I cooked my friends. I did picanha, linguiça, chicken, pork, and basically just put the salt.
Just salt.
Yeah, just salt. Not the regular, the
This
fine salt.
big coarse salt. Yeah. Like rock salt.
Yeah, rock salt, and yeah, that was pretty much.
And you guys don't put like barbecue sauce on there?
No. That was more of an American thing when I got here, like barbecue.
Which do you
sauce.
like better? Do you like to have some of each? Do you like kind of the barbecue sauce sometimes, and other times just the Brazil, or do you prefer?
I prefer more the salty way, and I like that. But the American version is also good.
Right.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is like, and what's interesting to me, Jefferson, is it's just one ingredient, but not everybody's, and it's called churrasco in Portuguese. Not everybody's churrasco is the same, right? There is a gift, a technique, right?
Yeah.
An art to making the right picante, even though it's just salt. And sometimes you guys put a little oleo, a little garlic and stuff, but really, and
just
I know you've
salt.
only done it once, but is there, what is that?
I don't know. My dad used to make it a lot, like when we were kids back in Brazil, when we lived there. He would make barbecue, and it was just salt.
All right, so we'll get you off the food topic. So now I want to talk to you about, okay, so you're in school, you're doing well. So talk to me about this wicked smart thing.
Yes.
First of all, what is it? How did you come up with it, and what have you done with it? And is it gonna? Did you leave it to continue after you're gone, or is it dead now that you're graduated?
So it's my friend and I, Miles Trent Harrison.
Yes.
So so
is he American or is he Brazilian?
He's American.
Nice.
So he came up with the idea, and we both work at Charlie's Place restaurant.
I love Charlie's Place.
Yeah, I'm a waiter there, and we both work at Charlie's. And he was talking to me. It was, I think, last summer, and he was talking to me about this finance program. And then we met together, we sat together, and we decided. And
you're like 17 years old and you're talking about finance program.
Finance program.
So before I let you go on talking about this, I just learned, I have an MBA, and I have, in various tracks, I've made millions of dollars for other people, made lots of money, but nobody had ever taught me how to manage money. So right before COVID hit, a couple of my clients didn't pay me a lot of money that they owed me, and that's when I realized I was not the owner of my own company. I was 2 clients away from total financial disaster. So over the last 6 years, thank God it's never too late, I actually now have become very good at personal finance. I actually deal with finance. But what is it about a 17-year-old kid? Like, first of all, is it the same in Brazil that parents don't talk to their kids about money? It's kind of taboo, and that your friends don't talk about money. Is money kind of a taboo topic even now, or is it becoming more open?
In Brazil, I feel like most people don't talk about it because they don't understand about it. They never had an education about it. But like, I remember when I was a kid, I have 2 older sisters, and my mom, my parents, they have always encouraged us to create a bank account and put our money in a savings account. Although she couldn't really understand, but she knew that like money would compound over time. It's better than keep your money under your mattress or anything. But there was just that basic sense. But it wasn't part of like education or like part of the culture. Like, let's invest, let's save money.
That's amazing. See, I know your mom so well, but I didn't know this part of your mom.
No, she always encouraged us to
She's very
humble.
Save money. All she does is talk about how proud she is of you. She never says, I encouraged him to go to school. She never takes her. So it's so nice to hear this other side of her. You're very blessed to have this
for
parent.
instance, one of the first jobs that I had, I would think I was like 11 years old. It wasn't like a real job, but like
you're an entrepreneur too.
I worked at my aunt's store, and they would pay me, I think, 200 reais, which would be equivalent to like $40 or so nowadays. And she encouraged me. She would like call me, and she'd be like, oh, you're gonna save half of the money, and then the other half you can decide whatever you want to do it. And she came. I was living with my grandma. I lived with my grandma for 1 year. So she came to the state that I was living with my grandma, and then she helped me open the bank account, and then I deposit my money.
That's amazing. Wow. Okay. So back to now you and your friend. So, and why did he get this? Where did this awareness come from? Like, let's start a finance club. I'm like, okay, but why? You're just kids. You're just teenagers. Like, what was the?
Miles, he's a really business and finance kind of kid. Like, he really understands about markets and finance and business and everything. And I'm more of like econ, gov-ish. So he called me in, and we scheduled a meeting with Caping Savings Bank.
Yep.
and they were happy to do it with us. So they were the speakers. They would talk about the contents, and basically they would talk about credit cards, savings, basic
Yep.
of savings, budgeting,
Yep.
And investing, like
Yep.
principles of investing.
Yep.
And the YMCA, we booked the room at the YMCA. They were really helpful for free as well. And we did a session back in the fall, 3 sessions, and then in the spring we did another session. So in the fall we only did for seniors, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, seniors. And then in the fall, seniors and juniors, and then in the spring, and then in the spring we opened to the rest of the schools.
Okay.
Yeah. And the continuation of the program, so I have this other couple friends that are taking over,
Yeah.
and they're gonna continue the
And
program.
you're gonna be like a
next
mentor
year.
to them from afar if they
Oh
have
yeah,
any
definitely.
questions.
Yeah, we told them if you guys need help with anything, we have the documents we can share with you. And
They'll end up having you guys come back as speakers for their events. Yeah,
well, you never know.
that is great. Okay.
But yeah, so hopefully they're going to continue the program next year, inviting more kids. And the kids, there's a Google form, they can just sign up if they're interested. And
Okay. So all these things, Jefferson, it's a great story. It's what you've done, but you know what? It doesn't matter what you did. It's what are you going to do, right? Why are you on the planet, Jefferson? What is your big goal? Because I did want to say, you told me you applied to 33 universities.
33.
And this is kind of a divine sign. It was 11 accepted you, 11 you were on the wait list, and you said 11
rejected.
stupid schools. But I was hearing from you, you didn't care about the rejects because you had schools flying you in, paying for everything, hotel, plane. So you had plenty, and you
I
got
shouldn't
Harvard,
have applied to 33
right?
schools. That was kind of stupid. I was feeling very anxious. I thought I was gonna get rejected by all the schools. And since it was free to
Right.
apply, I just applied to as many as I could.
So-
But that kind of burned me out, and I wouldn't recommend
So
it.
this is a awkward question. How much money did you spend applying to 33 schools?
Oh, nothing. It's for
It's all
free.
free?
Yeah.
Because in earlier years there were application fees. You don't have any application fees at all, or any kind of.
So there's this organization called QuestBridge. I don't know
Yep.
if you've heard about it. It's kind of like the Common App. You apply to college through QuestBridge. You
Yep.
do the written application. There's more writing, and it's basically for low-income, high-achieving
Oh, okay.
students. And it's for free. And some
Okay.
schools weren't on QuestBridge, so I just applied through Common App. But it was also for free
Oh, that's
to
great.
apply to them.
So it's just a huge investment of time.
That's great that like these schools don't charge families that are students that don't have the.
And you have great parents, so you don't need my advice, but I would tell you something. Don't say that you applied to too many schools, because you know what? You applied to 33 schools. You were like all in. You were going to make sure, you know what? You were doing your parents proud. You were going to make sure that you were getting into a school. So you're not a guy that's just half in.
No.
When you do something, you're all in. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Or is it
that's
just
right.
that one time you were all in?
No,
Or is
I
that
tend
how
to
you
get obsessed. Like if I
Obsessed.
really get into something, I tend to go like all in.
Okay, so that's where we're gonna, as we're closing out this for the next few minutes, I want you to tell me, so what is your biggest obsession? Why are you on the planet? If everything, and by the way, you've proven anything is possible, right? So you have no obstacles now, right? What is it that you are gonna dedicate what are you gonna do in the future? Like, let's say 5 or 10 years from now, 20 years from now, how do you see yourself?
That's a really hard question. I don't know for right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do after 4 years of college. Like if I want to go to grad school or if I want to go straight into the workforce.
I think you should go straight to the workforce. That's just my opinion, but go ahead.
And
What kind of, by the way, don't be in the workforce. Own your own business. You're a natural entrepreneur.
yeah, that's the other thing. I don't know if I want to start my own business.
Yes.
But like one thing that I for sure want to do definitely and continue to do in college or whatever, it's like helping my community, being part of wherever I am, helping out, giving my input, trying to create a better environment for my kids, I guess, in the future than I had.
Okay, now that is beautiful. Do you have any last words for people out here that have never actually spoken to the Brazilians that live in their buildings, that are working in different stores that are out there? What is it? You've already said what you like about Brazil, but what is it? What kind of advice would you give to people that don't have any experience with Brazil in order for them to kind of, for their own benefit, not, like what is it you would like them to do or know?
Very hardworking people, inspiring people. Just go up to them and talk to them, introduce yourself. They're probably, some of them are probably not going to be able to speak the language, but if you can, try to speak in Portuguese, or if they speak English, try to talk to them. They're going to be very happy to talk about them, their family, their story coming from Brazil to here. They're going to be proud about it. And
what would you say, because there are a lot of Brazilians that are also watching the English version of this program, what would you say to Brazilians about getting to know Americans or about English? There are a lot of Brazilians that have been here for a long time, some people you know very well, that get along fine not speaking English, so they don't. What would you say to them? Would you encourage them to step out of their comfort zone and learn English, and how, and like what would you say? I'm just giving you hints, but whatever you want to tell.
No, yeah, 100%. You should try to learn the language. It's governments, hospitals, like everything, work, everything involves the language. And it's always good to learn like other language, Spanish, French, Mandarin. And
do you speak Mandarin?
I do not. No, okay, I wish I could.
Are you gonna? Because I speak Japanese, but are you gonna learn? Are you gonna do some languages when you're?
Probably. I have to actually take a language class.
Awesome. All right. Well, listen. It's my first time to meet you. Although I've seen your picture, heard about you so many times, and you were very gracious to just come here. And I know part of it's also because you love your Aunt Flavia. Couldn't be here with us. She's like your auntie, right? And I want to just thank you for being you and wish you, I don't need to wish you this, you're going to be successful whatever you do, but congratulations. I wish you just the best of everything.
Thank you.
And we appreciate all of you for tuning in to another episode of The Best of All Worlds, a program in which we really are trying to introduce people who are born here to people who are born elsewhere, because through friendships, business opportunities, and shared experiences together, we can have the best of all worlds. Thank you. The best of